Happy days, and yes, I'm with Mr. Lee Tannyware, the most beautiful Englishman in Ireland.
Oh,
Absolutely beautiful. And here we are, and I have a fantastic subject for us to deep dive this week, Mr. Tannyware. Well, it's actually quite controversial, and I really want to go in hard with it. I don't want to softy. Yeah, I said softy. You have been described as the sandpaper teddy bear. I
oh
think
no, it's getting quite fashionable now.
the sandpaper teddy bear. I mean, it's all hard on the outside and squishy on the inside. But here's where we are. This week's topic. And I want you to grab a pen and paper, all those
I got
questions
it.
right now before you start.
Oh,
And Lisa Tannyware has one. And it is, are you a hobby business in disguise? Are you a hobby business in disguise? Now, we've touched on this slightly here and there in our other calls, but I want to reverse this. Do you know what? So many business owners are thinking they're running a business when in effect, all they're doing is running a hobby that looks like a business. Now, a hobby business is cool if you know it's a hobby business. But when you are trying to, excel out that you are this professional business person, when in fact you're doing nothing more than running a personal hobby. Again, we're not dissing a hobby business. What I want you to do there, all people watching this today, is let's get this aligned once and for all. Put yourself in the right pigeonhole. If that's, let's say, are you a hobby? Are you a business? Are you a freaking job? Let's really hit it hard today, Tannyware. Let's talk about the hobby business in disguise.
very good. And there's nothing wrong with a hobby business. Yeah, I've got a few friends who've got hobby businesses, but like you said, they know it's designed that way. It's specifically designed that way. And the reason I think it's relevant, because it can sound like you're dishing hobby businesses, but we're not. It's, I suppose, when it comes back onto the human, because a lot of people, or some people I know, have got hobby businesses. They're trying to do all the things, they're putting themselves under a lot of emotional pressure, and not realizing that the business is designed as a hobby.
Yeah.
And emotionally, they're taking it very seriously. But then they're not living their full life. They're not living their dreams because they've actually designed a life than a business. And the challenges with that is that I only had somebody last week. They were moaning about certain things in their business, but then, like, they're everywhere and anywhere.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because because it can be because this can get a lot of backs up. This can also there are people who are thinking they are running a full-blown business, but yet I've only put enough energy for it to be a hobby business.
Well, that's the piece. Yeah, that's the piece, because it was just something I was talking to the other day, and they were asking my advice, and I gave them the answer. And then, I can't do that because I'm going, I won't mention where, but I'm going such and such for 2 weeks. And then when I'm back, I'm doing this. And when I'm there, and I said, well, where have you got the time for business or for work? I said, what do you mean? I said, well, that's what business is for. I said, well, it is if you've got employees. I said, but you are the employee's chief bottle washer, but you're never there. I said, and on the other hand, I said, you're moaning that you're not getting like the clients and you're not growing the business. But if you're not allocating time to the business and you are the business, then
that's the part there, Lee.
That's the piece, because it's
we have this illusion, and there is an illusion that people think, oh, I run a business, I can get all the time off I want. Yes, but you have to have your business aligned for that.
Well, and that's it. And a hobby business would imply they're the person doing it, a bit like I do a bit of gardening for a hobby. And it just keeps the hand in. And a lot of retirement people do it that way, because they're not really after the money. They're after to keep their cognitive ability going, keep their connections going, but they're still running a business. But they're not relying on the business for ends meet. It's paying its way. but some people run it the other way, as in it's, well, I left my job because I wanted time to like spend and go like play golf and do this and do that. But I need a business because I haven't got my retirement sorted. But the person I was talking to, be about a week, maybe 8-10 days ago, when we went through a month, they only had 2 days where they were actually going to be working.
Wow.
But the problem they gave me at the beginning, they said, I'm not getting the clients, they're not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, and we went through it, and but they weren't doing any lead generation, they weren't doing anything like that. And it was like, well, I'm doing social media posts and stuff like that. And like when you looked at their posts, some of them were just images.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if you're not actually communicating to your client and you're not doing the do, I said, like, well, what have you done? I said, have you read any books on, in a sense, copywriting, or have you done any research into your ideal client? Do you know what, like, who your avatar is, what the client's looking for, how you serve? And like it all seemed like double Dutch. And I said, these are all literally 101 questions. They're like entry questions, like the ABC.
Yeah.
And like that, then bear in mind, anyone hearing that, they might be running a business and now think they've got a hobby business because they haven't done it. But if you're the chief cook and bottle washer, you've got to know how to wash, you've got to know how to cook, and you've got to know how to wash bottles. But if you're allocating all your time to personal stuff, or hobby business another way, is you can drop everything at the drop of a hat because of what the kids want, what like your partner wants, your wife wants, your husband wants, whatever, and you're not actually allocating specific time and you're not structuring your time and you haven't got a business growth plan in that, then it is a hobby business, really. You mightn't realise that, but that might be the nudge to get the awareness to go, oh, I'm actually not running a business. I'm actually fitting my business in around my life, which isn't a business. It's a hobby business.
There. And
yeah.
I love that, Lee, because you said something there. If you haven't got a business growth plan, then you're a hobby business.
Yeah.
And so many people who are thinking they're running businesses, as I say, don't have those fundamentals in place. And then they wonder why it is. They are stressed. They wonder why they are, effectively the hobby business is more consuming if it's not done right than running a business.
Oh, definitely, 100%. And that's the bit, because obviously the well-being of the human, it's not like you've got to have a business, the proper business. Like it's your business. You can do what you like with it. But if your expectations are your outcome, really the hobby business would be in the expectations area, as in, well, I'm hoping to do this, and all being well, this will happen, and once this is done, and once that's done, this will happen. That's more like Roz and I are going to Spain, in a couple of days, and one more sleep. And I don't know what we're going to do when we get there, but I know we're going to eat, and I know we're most likely going to drink, probably go for a walk on the beach, whatever. But I don't know what we're going to do, and we do it in real time. And some people run their holiday, their business like they run the holiday. And if I really take it to the bone, some people spend more time designing their home or their bathroom or their office than they do their business. If they took the same skills, and put those skills on your business, you'd have a totally different business. But some people
shelf stackers, we call them the shelf stackers. They love stacking their shelves, having it all labeled up, dated and everything, but then they just look at it. They don't actually do anything with it.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's not like you're at school and you've got to do it this way. But if you've got certain dreams and you put an investment into your business, whether that be like time and money, and you're talking to your friends and family, because you've got that emotional debt as well. You're building expectations in other people. And perhaps sometimes we utilize what we do as a form of validation or well-being maintenance, to keep us sort of proud and when we can stand up tall. But if we keep without the planning, and we're just, we'll go to the beach tomorrow, Paul, and we're talking about a business, I might do that tomorrow, I'm not sure. And there's no real structure or planning to it. There's a few things that can happen there. One, you throw a bit of time on that. yeah, year, 18 months, and like, let's say, I don't know, you got a bit of redundancy, or you got some savings, or you were left some money, and that gave you that dream time, that breathing space. And it can be a bit like coming out of the deer in the headlights. You're starting to breathe, and you're starting to think, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. And all the time you've got loads of money in the bank, or what might appear like loads of money in the bank, there's no pressure on you, which means it's, I'm going to get the office done. Well, I can't get started yet because I've got to get the office done. Can't get started yet because I've got to get the logo done, the website done. And you're pulling from the procrastinator's toolkit. Or you've got all your website done, you've got all your office done. And now I'm not quite sure how to get the clients. So I'm meeting with John next week and I'm meeting with Marion. All being well, something will come from that. If we're in that type of language, then we're literally, the fingers crossed, touch wood, superstitious business growth. Yeah. and luck might, it might work in your favour. Yeah. You can see it in reflection. Yeah, well, lucky. Yeah, I always win the raffle. I mean, there could be 1,000 people in, it's always me. Then you're probably safe. If you never win the raffle or you very rarely win it, don't raffle your success.
Wow.
Yeah, don't play chance with your life, because it's not whether you get a successful business or not, because a successful business is, does it do for you and your family what you intended it to do? Because if it doesn't, you've got to pay the penalty. Yeah, and you can't emotionally toll yourself in the future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can't put it off now and pay for it then, because that's when it all starts to hit.
Yeah.
So it's just structuring out what you're looking to get from it. That could be a number. Mm-hmm. I'm looking to get, for example, 40,000 a year from it. Yeah. How does that break down? How many hours? And it's rather than how many hours a week, how many hours a quarter are you going to commit? It might be you want to work 3 months at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Or make hay when the sun shines. You think, well, January, February, March are quiet in my interest. So I'm not really going to do much then. I'm going to go off to wherever it's hot or whatever. Yeah, or I'm just going to have that time for myself. And so when we say structuring or planning your business, it doesn't mean to say you've got to have this like chain. It might be that you're in a place of life, you've got enough savings, or you've got support around you. And I think that's the other part, and I've seen this quite a few times, is when you've got a partner that will support you. And I don't mean this in a male or a female sense. Yeah, I mean this. I don't know which side it is. Yeah, whether who's supporting you is what's the emotional toll on them while you're playing, and giving them, and what's the emotional toll on your relationship? Because when somebody's giving you support, when they're all in and they want it for you because they know this is important to you, and you're just in the hobby mode, and then you're out, I don't know, you're out playing golf, or you're out, I don't know, retailing it with your friends, and then the partner goes, and that pillow talk, and how'd it go today? And oh yeah, we had a great game of golf, and went for a meal afterwards or whatever, and the other person's working their guts out, they're on like a 40 or 50-hour week, you're consuming them. Yeah, and like that community or that family unit is being eroded because the person that's supporting you sometimes doesn't get realised. I thought you were going to support me, and these are the problems that come from a hobby business. Yeah, you got the emotional toll where you're going to pay the price sooner or later. When the money's gone, or when reality hits home, or the support structure goes, or the support structure kicks back, that's when you're going to pay the toll. So sometimes it's the wake up bit, and the awareness. It's not regret or I'm stupid, like as in the remorse and regret bit and the guilt. It's not. It's just a wake up call. It's the awareness. This is the point of these podcasts. Sometimes we all done it, so it's not I'm better than you type thing. We're not back at school. It's not playground chit chat. It's having the awareness. Yeah, it might be. Even if you get that little feeling inside that the brain ain't kicked in. Take note of the feeling, because if you're in a hobby business, it's going to be, and if it's designed that way, and that's specifically what you're looking for, when you're just trying to keep your literally your hand in, then it's absolutely perfect. It's done by design. That means you've got a plan around the hobby business, which is perfect. You know why you're doing it. But if you're in the medication of a hobby business, believing, that I've actually got a business. All right. How many hours a week are you working? how much focus. It's not, oh, I've been in the office all day. Yeah, what?
There.
Watching TikTok. Yeah,
that's
watching
massive.
TikTok. Yeah. what? And I mean, I know people that spend in the office all day, and they're just watching TikTok or flicking through social media, or if they're lonely and on their own, they might be swiping left or swiping right. I don't know. Yeah.
Or pointless networking.
Pointless networking, that's another one, yeah. And that's it. Oh, yeah, I've got 6 meetings today, and it's out. I've got six business meetings, and all you're doing is having a ginger nut and a cup of tea. It's that audit again. I mean, the audit is the awareness thing. It's like, where am I spending my time, or where am I investing my time? In business, we don't spend time. And in life, we don't spend time. Everything should be, I mean, if we're not working and we've got time off, yeah, what's your emotional plan? What's your happiness plan? What's your joy plan? What's your passion plan? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So when you come off, I'm really looking forward to going on holiday with Roz. Why? Because I love being with Roz. Yeah. And we love being together, and we work really hard, but we also want to be like invest time with each other, not spend time with each other. I don't want time tick, 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 tick. I can't get it back. So everything should have some sort of focus. And it's not like you must do. It's not like that under the thumb or under the finger. Like when you're on your own time, it should be relaxed. It should like, now I've got a father and 11 kids. I mean, we go to rugby matches here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes you want to see what we squeeze in a day, and it can feel worse than a job. But I mean, we had to do 3 matches the other day in 3 different areas. One of them was like an hour and a half because you don't want to let the other one down. Yeah. But Roz and I are aware that emotionally we feel that way, and we can talk about that. And sometimes we make it easier. So if you go to that one, I'll go to that one. I'll meet you, and we go for lunch. So we got our own little plan or strategy, and that might be the right word. Strategy. What's your strategy? Yeah. What is it? And if you're in a hobby business and you just need to tweak it a little bit to make it like a business hobby, but what we mean by that is that there's ka-ching at the end of it. Yeah. But if you're having like pointless networking, is why you're having these meetings. What's the end game? And if you're building relationships, that's perfect. We've got to build relationships. But once the relationships are built, once they're cemented, once there is a foundation, is when are you going to have that real chat? Yeah, because if you built the relationship and you got it, when are you going to say, like, well, what are you looking to do over the next 6 months, Paul or Lee? Yeah, and a bit like yours and my chat the other day. We have a bounce around, and then between us, we both learn. I go off and do what some might by bits, and you go off and do yours. We learn from each other, but we got the relationship. And if you can't say the real things to each other, you haven't got a relationship. When it's not the real things, as in, like, some people think honesty is disrespect, but if you know that person's going to that place or they're heading to that place, and you're in silence and you realise they're medicating themselves slightly, then the best service you can do is look out for their future. And just out of curiosity, Paul, are you serious about this? 0 to 10? Yeah, it's 10, Lee. Like this. Tell me why that's important to you. Well, this, and in 2 years from now, I want to do this, and brilliant. Can I say something to you that might support you with that? But when I say it to you, you might have the awareness, which means I might trigger something, but I'm saying it as a friend. I'm saying it to support you. I'm not saying it. If I didn't respect you, I wouldn't be saying it. And then sometimes you need to tell people. Now, it's not a judgment. It's not a thing but it might be the wake-up call they need. Yeah. Or it might be the wake-up call you need. It might be an audit, just reflect where you're investing your time, where you're spending your time. And that's not the other person's fault. There's 2 people in it. Yeah. And don't just cut them out of your life. Yeah. It's start thinking about what you want, planning what you want, why that's important to you, how you're going to focus your time, how much time you're going to put in, whether that's weekly or quarterly, however you want to structure it, it's your business. But at the end game, the whole point is the business should serve you. It shouldn't consume, and nor should you pay a toll at the end of it. Whether that covers it, my friend, I don't know.
Wow, Lee, this was I'm going to say one of the most powerful calls we've done. It went into the intricates of, are you a hobby business in disguise? And it was meant to be hard hitting. We've got in there. It's very beautiful. You covered the whole circle of it, as you always do, universe, multiverse, and back. Mr. Late Anywhere. Very beautiful, my friend. Go and have your haircut, and I will catch you this time next week. Happy days.